Hey, this is Steve Domenico from Regional Fight Sports in the room with David Durao, the Spider Monkey, who's fighting for World Fighting Championships on June 9th at Foxwoods Resort and Casino. How are you, David? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm feeling good.
Excellent, man. You're a few days, about a week and a half away from this fight. This will be your third AMI fight. You're fighting at Flyweight?
Yep, 125.
Excellent. You're out of the Underdog Mixed Martial Arts, correct?
That's right. The best camp in the Northeast.
Excellent. Bunch of monsters there. UFC fighters, UFC caliber fighters, up and coming AMIs, just like yourselves, and AMIs that are just on that edge of making it to getting in the pros and bigger and better things out of Underdog thing there. So congratulations for being under a great camp there.
Thank you. Yeah, it's awesome to be part of that team. Yeah, it's obviously an honor to be training with those guys every day.
Excellent. How long have you been with them? And what is your specialty? What is your background in martial arts?
So I come from a gi jiu-jitsu background. I was doing gi jiu-jitsu for about 5 years before I ended up at Underdog. And last year, around March, I ended up at Underdog training for my first MMA fight.
Excellent. Now, how long were you at Underdog training for that MMA fight before the actual fight happened?
I had 8 weeks with Russell.
Excellent. Did you have any other kind of striking MMA experience besides your big grappling BJJ background?
Not really. I was trained there. I was in before that. It was out of the cage in Rocky Hill. So we had guys like, I came up training with Dan Dubuque, Carlos Carrera, Addison O'Neill. Did some fighting with them, but really concentrated on my jiu-jitsu at that time. Excellent,
excellent. So you get the Underdog. You're 8 weeks under Russell. Great coach. Matt Bassett's right-hand man. That's his head coach right there. Russell gets you for 8 weeks. What was that feeling, jumping into Underdog with all them killers?
It was crazy for me. I had actually taken that fight before I even joined Underdog. I was lucky enough that Russell let me keep that fight when I came into the team. And it was really just about getting me ready to fight. We weren't going to change any of my skills in 8 weeks. So it was just getting me prepped and ready to get into the cage for that fight.
Excellent. And that fight, your debut fight, you fought a highly regarded young amateur himself, and Mitch Raposo. I mean, for a first fight coming into MMA with only really 8 weeks of a real training camp, actually really being an MMA camp, fighting Mitch, man, that's a great accomplishment as your first fight. And you did lose the fight, but you went you went the distance with him.
Yeah, I think if I was taking that fight this time, it would be a lot different.
Excellent. And then you had your next fight from the same organization. You fought for Ammo twice, I do believe.
Yep.
Your next fight, you got your first win. Let's talk a little bit about that and that feeling compared to your debut.
Yeah, I was. The experience was completely different. My first fight, I was shitting my pants backstage. I couldn't believe I was actually getting ready to do that. And my second fight, I was so comfortable. I knew I was ready, and I knew I was winning that fight. There was no way I was walking out of that cage with another loss.
Excellent. Now, you talk about how you were shitting your pants in the back. Being, into BJJ for 5 years and stuff, I'm sure you were in plenty of, competitions there. What's the difference? What's the feeling? What's the butterfly feelings and the difference between the two martial arts?
The difference was I saw a kid come backstage right before I went out to fight that was completely beat up, bleeding out of his nose, black eyes, body looked battered. And I was like, what the fuck did I just sign up
for? Dude, go ahead.
I was literally thinking, I'm like, is there a back door to this goddamn arena? Because I'm like, holy God, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Well, dude, respect to you, because a lot of people in that line ready to go in there have jumped out that back door or faked an injury or have done something. It's happened in the past, but you stuck in there. You got in there. You fought a killer. The kid's still undefeated. He just won a belt. So, I mean...
Yeah, he just takes the kid close.
Yeah. So, I mean, respect to you for getting in there and then jumping in there with staying with the underdog and then having your first victory. Now, it brings us to your biggest fight, because you're going to be fighting for the biggest stage at Foxwoods under World Fighting Championships. How did you get this opportunity, and how are you feeling about getting on probably the biggest stage in New England at Foxwoods?
I feel great about it, man. This is my time, I believe. I believe that this is going to be my coming out party, this fight. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to finish this kid, and I'm going to show everybody that I'm the next big prospect at 125.
Excellent. You're training with, at Underdog, you got Carlos Candelario, the Cannon. You got Justin Valentin. You got Roberto Rios. You got a bunch of, you got Johnny Lopez there. You got a bunch of people at that weight, around your weight, that you can play around with all the time, correct?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I have the best stable of training partners you could ask for around here. There's no question.
And
the guys that I step on the mats with every day are the best in New England and the Northeast.
Excellent. And they're proven, too, because they're out there winning and they're in the UFC or about to get in there, and big things for them. I mean, you got a couple of, at least one fighter, training partner on the card as well with you, correct?
Yeah, so Jesse Neely and Parker Porter are both scheduled to be on the event with me. So that'll be awesome to finally share a card with one of my teammates.
Excellent. It's a big night for Underdog. It's a big night for you and having your third fight in the biggest stage. What is? I mean, you're 27 years old, correct?
Yeah.
You got into it. You got it. And what I'm seeing with a lot of the young Amis, they got into MMA later in their life. I mean, but you are still doing a martial arts, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, grappling is a great base, one of the proven bases to start your MMA career with if you're starting late. I mean, that's a great base. So, and then you're proving it, you're with a great camp. What are you looking for? We raise our hand here as an amateur, not to rush things, but let's just say, 2018, it's halfway through. You get your hand raised, you're 2-1 as an amateur. What are you looking for at the end or towards the end of 2018?
I want to keep climbing up these ranks. I want to show everybody that I'm one of the next fighters. People talk about Mitch. Mitch is an awesome fighter. I got to share the cage with him. I think I'm right there with him. I think I'm right there with all the top 10 flyweights. I show it every day in training, and I'm going to show it in the cage. Keep coming.
Excellent, man. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to be there. I've interviewed a couple of fighters. I'm going to be interviewing more in the next few days. It's a special card. World Fighting Championships, they're everywhere. They have a crossover with boxing. They have, they're getting a lot of play. They're traveling around. They're out of Vegas. Their promoters online all the time, getting fights, calling out for fights, using social media for his advantage, that's what it's made for. It's free. So they're coming into town. They're coming into New England. They're coming into the biggest area, biggest place, Foxwoods Resort Casino, man. You talked about butterflies, and you're ready for this, buddy. You're fighting a kid coming out of New Hampshire. At this point of the game, you're still early in the amateur. It doesn't matter who gets in front of you. But I'm hoping that, you put on a great show and we have big things out of you.
You definitely will. Believe me. I'm going to put a show on for everybody that night at Foxwoods and prove to everybody that I'm the next big thing coming.
Excellent, my man. All right, David. Shout outs. How we get in touch with you? Because you're still selling tickets, and let it out, bro.
Yeah, so check me out on social media. I have an MMA page, David Durao. I have my Instagram page, Spider Monkey BJJ16. You can look me up on either of those to get tickets, show love, whatever.
Excellent. Also, and also underdog mixed martial arts. I'm sure they're selling a hell of a bunch of tickets for you out of that gym.
Definitely.
Considering you got two other training partners fighting on there. So, David, I wish you well, man. I'll see you there, and after the fight, come talk to me. We'll have a little celebration, a little interview, a couple of minutes of your time. But thanks, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, man. You and I have been, chatting back and forth a little online, and we all follow each other in New England. It's a big family. We're all bust balls online, so it's a good thing.
Hell yeah.
All right, brother.
You got to get down to underdog so we can get some rolls in too.
Definitely, yeah, definitely, bro. I'll have fun. I'll let you show me a few things over there. It'll make good TV.
Hell yeah.
All right, so that's David the Spider Monkey Durao fighting June 9th at Foxwoods Resort Casino, World Fighting Championship, fighting at 125 flyweight. He wins this fight, man. There's a lot of talk in the flyweight division, the amateur ranks in New England. So thanks again, David.
Thanks, man.
Have a good one.
Steve Domenico's the GOAT.
Woo! All right, brother. You make me that way. You take care.
You take care. See ya.